Quick thing before the video starts. I just got a new capture card and it works just fine, but every time I try to record at 1080p, it runs like the slowest thing ever. I mean, like, this thing makes Scarlet and Violet look like Spider-Man PS4 on a 4090. Anyway, just bear with me on this video and yeah, hope you enjoy. Greninja. You either love it or you hate it. But me personally, I love this thing. So much so that it's my #1 Pokemon of all time. It was my first ever starter Pokemon and forever has a place in my heart. Now, as we all know, the devs over at Pokemon decided to drop the biggest nerf hammer yet. They was tossing around them things like how my friend dishes out one pumps in Fortnite. You get a nerf, you get a nerf, you get a nerf. Now, if you've been keeping up with the Journeys anime, you would know that Ash's Greninja made an appearance to help Lucario control its aura. And during that time, not only did Lucario get the little bro treatment, we also got a flashback to one of the most epic battles in Pokemon history. In that flashback, we see Greninja and Charizard in the Kalos League finals. Now, when I first saw this scene, I noticed that something was pretty much missing. Can you guess what it is? This dude ain't even transformed. So, because of this, there have been some speculations on the internet as to why they did this, and some people have been saying that they either forgot it or it got retconned, if I'm saying that right. So I started thinking, did they get rid of Ash Greninja entirely? Or did they just keep the stat buffs and the whole mind fusing thing? So whenever they like linked minds and all that stuff, they would, you know. Because if that's the case, then that means that bro packed a Mega Sceptile, went toe-to-toe with a Mega Charizard, but lost, which I'm still mad about to this day, and fought whatever the heck this slug snake thing is. All in its base form. Hey bro, me personally, I would be proud of those feats. So if anything, this statement shouldn't seem so outrageous anymore. Anyway, just recently they did a 7-star Greninja Terra raid, and for the rest of this video, I'm gonna be going over how I did it. So without further ado, let's go. So the thing with this Greninja is that it has a poison Terra type, and the types that counter poison are Psychic and Ground. I was thinking about choosing Garchomp since it was a ground type but also a pseudo legendary, so it was reasonably strong. Until I found out that the Greninja had Ice Beam. So yeah, we're not using Garchomp. So my next option was Lucario. Now, Lucario might not be a pseudo, but it is a steel type, a type known for having the most resistances, which is 10. So that means that Lucario will be able to resist 3 out of 4 of Greninja's moves except for Hydro Pump. So for about an hour, I was prepping Lucario for the Greninja raid. I fought some Terra raids for some XP candy, I taught it all of the moves it needed to know, and I did some EV training. I challenged the raid, and this was when I realized that all of the effort that I put into Lucario was basically a waste of time. The raid begins and Greninja immediately sets up Toxic Spikes and Double Team. I use Sunny Day in order to nerf the power of Greninja's Hydro Pump. Greninja then proceeds to use Hydro Pump, for God knows what reason, and I set up with Swords Dance. Greninja uses Hydro Pump again and I use Swords Dance. Then Greninja nullifies all of the stat changes made on my side of the field. See, the thing about the 7-star Pokemon is that they love doing this. And I think that the reason that the Charizard raid was pretty difficult, for me at least, was that it kept resetting the stat changes on my side. So every time my Azumarill stats were reset after using Belly Drum, I couldn't do it again because Belly Drum takes half of your health and you can't really use it again or else the Azumarill would be KO'd. I used Swords Dance and the Greninja used Hydro Pump, getting Lucario into the red. I used Earthquake, which did a lot of damage but not enough to beat the timer, so I just forfeited. Then I discovered that the Slowbro from the Cinderace raid was actually a better option. With its Iron Defense, I could resist Greninja's Night Slash, and with the Nasty Plot and Stored Power combo, plus Stab super effectiveness, I should be able to KO the Greninja in like 3 turns. So I jumped right back in with Slowbro. Greninja does some stat buffs and Toxic Spiking, then goes for Hydro Pump. I use Iron Defense, then Greninja gets paralyzed. I was able to get another Iron Defense off thanks to the paralysis, but then Greninja crits me with Hydro Pump. I used Nasty Plot, but then Greninja resets the stats. So I had to do everything again while also using Slack Off so that Slowbro doesn't get poisoned by toxic spikes upon re-entering the battlefield. Then Greninja puts up its shield and I set up again. I use Stored Power, doing a decent amount of damage to Greninja. Greninja then uses Night Slash, which we take beautifully, and I use Stored Power again, barely breaking the shield. Luckily, one of the ally Pokemon broke it for me. I used Stored Power, which brought Greninja into the red. Finally, one more Stored Power later, and Greninja the Unrivaled was defeated. Finally, after so long, my number one Pokemon and I are reunited. Now I have this feeling of satisfaction rushing over me. It felt nice. Now it's time for what I hope is some cinematic. I am not that good at editing yet.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. A heart so true, our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, catch 'em all. Every challenge along the way, with courage I will face. I will battle every day to claim my rightful place. Come with me, the time is right. There's no better team. Arm in arm, we'll win a fight. It's always been our dream. A heart so true, our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all.
Hey, miss, you see my new grip? Did you just... Oh, nah. Greninja, you know what to do. Anyway, that's gonna do it for the video. I actually had a lot of fun making this video because it's actually my first time making content based around Scarlet and Violet. It's actually something I wanted to do for a while now, and I'm glad I was actually able to do it. You got anything to say, Greninja? Anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more videos by me, if they ever come out in time, hit that bell and, I don't know, maybe drop a like and subscribe while you're at it. Anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night depending on when you're watching this, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.